Friends, when you hear the word leadership, what comes to mind? Do you think of titles, positions, or maybe someone barking out orders? We live in a world that often equates leadership with power and authority. But today I want to talk to you about a different kind of leadership. The leadership of Jesus. Jesus taught us that true leadership isn't about wielding power, but about serving others with humility and love. Whether you're leading a family, a team at work, or simply trying to make a difference in your community, these principles can guide you to become the leader God created you to be. Friends, let's be honest, it's easy to get caught up in the world's idea of leadership. We see people climbing the ladder of success, sometimes even stepping on others to get to the top. But Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, flips that notion upside down. He says in Matthew chapter 20 verse 28, "Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve." Jesus, the King of Kings, the one who spoke the universe into existence, came to serve. He washed his disciples' feet, a task reserved for the lowliest servant in that day. Can you imagine the humility it took for Jesus to kneel before his followers and wash their dusty, travel-worn feet? That's servant leadership in action. And you know, when we choose to serve others, to put their needs before our own, something powerful happens. Our hearts begin to shift. We start to see people through the lens of love and compassion, just like Jesus did. Think about the most influential leaders in history. They weren't driven by ego or self-promotion. They were driven by a deep desire to serve a cause greater than themselves. That's the kind of leadership that changes the world. Now let's talk about humility, another essential quality of leading like Jesus. You see, the world tells us to promote ourselves, to strive for recognition and applause, but Jesus teaches us a different way. In Philippians chapter 2 verse 3, the Bible says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself, it's about thinking of yourself less. It's about putting others first, considering their needs as more important than your own. Think about Jesus. He was God in the flesh, yet he humbled himself, taking on the form of a servant. He didn't come to be served but to serve, and ultimately, he gave his life as a ransom for many. That's true humility. Humility creates an environment where people feel valued, respected, and empowered to contribute their best. Chapter 3. Love, the greatest leadership tool. Now friends, we can't talk about leading like Jesus without talking about love. Love is at the very core of who God is, and it's the foundation of everything Jesus did. In John 13:34, Jesus gave us a new command: love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. This love isn't a sentimental feeling, it's an active choice we make to put the needs of others before our own, to forgive freely, to show grace and mercy, even when it's tough. Think about how Jesus loved. He loved the outcast, the sinner, the sick, and the forgotten. He didn't just love the lovable, he loved the unlovable. His love was unconditional, unwavering, and transformative. You see, friends, love has a unique power to break down barriers and to build bridges of understanding. It has the power to heal wounds, to restore hope, and to inspire greatness in others. When we lead with love, we create a culture of trust, respect, and collaboration. People feel safe to take risks, to share their ideas, and to grow. Friends, as we conclude today, I want to remind you that you don't have to have a specific title or position to lead like Jesus. You can lead from right where you are, in your home, your workplace, your community. Every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate servant leadership, humility, and love. If this message encouraged you today, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread the message of leading like Jesus far and wide. Remember, friends, together, we can make a difference in this world by following the example of the greatest leader of all time, Jesus Christ.